Welcome to the Business Services Café by ABSL, powered by BrandFizz. My name is Anita Zvezdovic and I will be your host for this recharging episode. We are here to bring the thriving business services sector closer to you through freshly brewed insights, also some sip and sing advices from the most influential leaders of the industry, and also some espresso shot trends. In each episode, we bring the most influential leaders of the industry closer to you. And in today's episode, we are welcoming Helga Kaszás, who is the Senior HR Manager of INNIO Budapest, let's call it INNIO Budapest for now, and also Zoltán Csehi, who is the Senior Manager at the Order Management unit. So welcome our guests, and our topic today is going to be moving energy forward and INNIO Budapest journey from operations to impact. So grab your favorite cup of coffee and settle in as we are blending the expert insights right here at the Business Services Café. Let's get started. Very warm welcome again in today's episode. The topic is a very trend-breaking, but we are gonna talk about later the position of your company. But today's topic is how INNIO Budapest was moving and its journey from operations to impact. But before we go into the details and your story and get to know what it means, we would like to also get to know you better. How do you typically drink your coffee?
I'm a big coffee fan, so I'm a coffee person. And I implemented a kind of ritual a few years ago. Which means I'm starting my day with something and I'm also closing the day with something. And for me, coffee is the ultimate day starter, especially when my better half is making absolutely amazing coffee creations and bringing into the bed. And this is the official kickstart of the day.
That sounds like a good start into the day.
Similar. It is also a ceremony for me. I guess my coffee-related habits were changing throughout the years. I started with latte, then cappuccino, then I'm now enjoying oat milk.
Okay.
So oat milk type of cappuccino is my style without sugar.
Without sugar, all right. I guess you as leaders, you also have coffee meetings, maybe with colleagues and also with each other. I would be interested, what are your coffee meetings recently about?
It's always about people.
Always about people.
Always about people. So actually, my companion about themselves. Mm-hmm. So what are the struggles? Mm-hmm. What are the questions? What about their job? Mm-hmm. How to deal with the superior, the team, the peers. So there is always people topic.
I really like the word coffee meeting that you have used because this is very descriptive. It is attached to personal presence and working in the office, and we know that we work in a hybrid working model, but working in the office is just a different impact. And having coffee together and have a chat face to face is often much more impactful than having a VC conversation. And with or without the coffee, it is a different feeling.
Yeah, it's a different feeling. And especially when it's about the people, when it's about like real everyday moments, it's genuinely like a more, casual way of talking, like a one-on-one or a team meeting. Getting to know you. Can you tell us about your journey to INNIO and also your roles and how you are contributing in driving the company transforming in Budapest from operations to purpose?
I've joined recently, as you know, Helga. just last year to INNIO. So I remember very well the first days and weeks of my period there. I lead order management, so this is a team that is responsible for the end-to-end spare part ordering process, the related communication to the customers about the order status, complaint handling, and also the improvement of the process, the order process overall. So I believe that besides the day-to-day activities, for us it's important to find how to go the extra mile every day and not just make it happen, but make it happen in a way that is somehow exceeding the expectation of the customers. And this is for us the impact that we are trying to achieve. We have three pillars. This is ownership, accuracy, and timeliness, as we used to say. So if all these three are together, obviously the output is the one we want to achieve.
And I think when it comes to like the team is dealing with quite an extraordinary product. If you can tell us like how they experience that what they are doing, contributing to.
Yes, it's absolutely valid. So INNIO is a company who is highly customer focused. It means that our products are heavily tailored to the customer needs. So we don't really have something that is standard or off the shelf. Hence, order management is accordingly complex and have huge amount of spare parts, and the challenge is to identify which spare part goes to which engine, whether the spare part is available. If it's not available, how we restock it. It is a collaboration with the warehouse, with the logistics transportation team and the planning forecasting team. So it is possibly a very good example of joint work that we are so great at in INNIO.
Mm-hmm. And the product itself, can you actually capture the size and the impact of it? Like, how do you explain it to somebody? Like, what is this product at the end?
Yeah. So we have engines that are a size of a big truck.
Okay.
So this is overall size, or a big container, a shipping container, and. Sometimes if just an O-ring, a rubber O-ring is broken, then it can create an engine issue or a malfunction. Our part is to make the part ready when it is needed. We have planned maintenances when that's a periodical maintenance, like to have your car visiting the service every 20,000 kilometers, and we have some unexpected engine breakdown. So this is kind of an emergency situation when my team is acting really fast, and we make sure that the spare part is delivered to the engine rather quickly when our engineer is there and built in and repair the engine. And
these engines are powering cities, hospitals, production facilities. So it's like actually a very vital part of worldwide energy consumption and running actually facilities, which are like, we take it as granted.
Yes, absolutely. So we are really proud that our engines are contributing to energy stability, energy distribution. The energy grid is loaded very differently throughout the day. It's like a wave, and the energy demand is peaking in the morning or in the afternoon, evening hours, and our engines are pretty good at starting generating electricity really fast, so it could be turned on and off rather quickly, so they can respond to that demand very quickly, hence providing stability to the grid. And one of the most prominent application area is the AI data center area, where a massive amount of energy is needed. Stability, reliability is critical, and this energy must be available very, very quickly as AI and data centers are growing nowadays.
Incredible. And then your team is actually taking care of that all of this is running smooth.
Yes, together with other great people and team in INNIO.
And we will get to know that from Helga. And tell us your journey to INNIO and how you are contributing to moving the operations to the purpose.
I also joined to INNIO in 2025.
Okay.
I'm just 6 months older than you, sorry. And what I would like to put emphasis on is that For instance, 6 years ago, INNIO had only 150 employees.
Yeah, in Budapest. Yeah,
In Budapest, yeah.
Yeah,
But
it's an
400.
incredible growth.
It's amazing growth, and of course, the evolving of the HR department is also following this growth. 6 years ago, INNIO had just 2 people in the HR, but now we are talking about the core HR, we are talking about recruitment department, we are talking about the HR operation, not just for Hungary, but also for Germany, Netherlands, and we have also a specialist who is really digging into Workday and technical stuff of the HR part. And I am supervising also the daily work of the internal communication and employer branding specialist, and also the office management is reporting to me. So I would like to say that I am responsible for the overall people and culture topic of INNIO Budapest, our development and operations side, as we call ourselves, because the culture, this is what really matters. We have a very nice community. And this community is based on trust and collaboration, and our leaders are also engaged to build really a culture which enables our people, which gives the freedom to fail, to try, to learn, and also is very important that this brings really engagement, and also we are here to build a workplace where really people can be themselves, and they really can feel good.
And I think what's very important, and as I heard earlier from you, that you are building basically a next generation of business service center. What does it mean? How can we imagine that, like practically?
From business perspective, next gen sounds simple as an expression, but what is differentiating next gen from first gen of business service centers? In my opinion, most of the business centers starts with activities, HR, finance, IT, where certain part of the process is moved from location A to location B and centralizing it on location B. The next gen element comes to the picture if after some period this process part is getting longer and longer, becoming end-to-end, and more end-to-end processes are arriving to the same center, and those end-to-end processes are getting connected, interlinked, and this is where the synergy comes in. And then the center finds itself in a situation where they end-to-end cover something, and they are much more capable to bring in further activities, so the pace of development is increasing, and that leads to the outcome when wage arbitrage is not anymore the driving value of the center, but the value creation is the driving value that is multiple times higher than the wage arbitrage. So wage arbitrage is getting diminishing from the equation, and due to the value add nature of those jobs, these new jobs, these next gen jobs, this value element is then the main driver.
So you both joined basically to create a next generation business service center. And how is, because you talked, Helga, about like building the culture, and you have very diverse colleagues, because actually you are not creating only traditional business service center jobs, but also, let's say, the next generation of business center jobs.
Absolutely. We had also this type of evolution.
Yeah.
We started with the finance, with HR, so this common, let's say, business functions. But we had 2 key levers of the growth. One is the engineering, and the other is the data and digital. And what I can say that the leaders of those service lines were very conscious about how to build a function. So they had the purpose to build really capability, a very strong knowledge base, of course, around the engine's life cycle. And the Budapest business solutions are also delivering this. Mm-hmm. For instance, if we are looking at engineering, our teams of electrical, mechanical engineers, also the documentation and also the product testing is really around the life cycle of the engine. And they have to collaborate very closely with each other.
And what you mentioned earlier, that you have quite a long life cycle of a product because they are tailor-made. So sometimes it may be like a year of co-creation.
Absolutely, absolutely. And they are interlinked, not just to each other, but also the production site, which is 700 kilometers far away from Budapest.
Yeah.
So this is something magic. And since we are in the world of IoT, Internet of Things, of course, the engines have plenty of data. We are sitting on a big bunch of data. And here comes our data team. Data and digital team. So we have digital applications. So we have developers, which the application calls as My Plant. And also our data engineers are very much into this data visualization, understanding the data, preparing the data, which is also a base of further decision making. And if we are talking about capability building, definitely these two very technology-oriented streamlines also had a very positive impact on the overall site, because we have to keep up all this stuff with the technology. So we are middle of the technology. And this is why our people say that, yeah, we are the energy behind the energy.
If you had to describe Budapest Center today in one sentence, what would be yours?
We are the energy behind the energy. But what is this energy?
Yeah.
INNIO is delivering reliable energy. Our development and operations center energy is the focal point of our community, built on trust, having a very strong purpose, and having the progress to reach our goals as well.
Understanding a little bit, going more in the insights, because I think now you put on our plate a very exciting new perspective of looking at a business service center, and we want to know more. And we will go a little bit more deeply in the insights. How does the Budapest-based center in everyday life contribute to the global ambitions? What is your role in this?
I guess Helga just explained really well that how the headcount grew throughout the years, and proportionally it brought an increasing impact of the Budapest Center in the global INNIO landscape and network. So I'm sure that our role and our impact is getting more and more important. How can we make this happen? As Helga pointed out, we have rapidly growing new areas like data or engineering. And altogether, as the headcount is also growing, it is getting a critical mass, a critical importance. Still, we are a part of a bigger network, and we are collaborating every single day with other units, with other locations, let it be Austria, Germany, or the US, or in Asia Pacific. It is happening, and each and every location has its own distinct advantage and value proposition. Let it be the language we can speak, let it be customer proximity, let it be certain geography advantages, or certain legal, economical advantages like EU as a zone in the world. Hungary is well located there. So I believe it's a contribution, and we are really proud that our role as Hungary, it is increasing, and I'm also really proud that the quality of our collaboration with the colleagues all around the world is also really working well.
And you are actively building up your position, proving that here is certain knowledge and performance, and then little by little creating more and more knowledge-driven and value-add opportunities for different
Absolutely.
teams.
So regarding the next gen, the way how to step up to the next level is exactly this, as you have said. So we have to go the extra mile every single day and exceed the expectation of the customers, the stakeholders, and we create trust, we earn trust to prove ourselves. And as Helga just explained, we have a great culture that is enabling us to to experiment and test ourselves, try something out. If it is not working, we can learn from it and we can start it again. Hence, gradually at the end of the day, with our great people and talents, we are ready and willing and getting capable to just, step up to the next level.
Yeah, and what you mentioned, the trust building, like to get the professional attention and the opportunities, let's say, to the more important projects to play a role in, and the trust also like within the team, managers and the team members. So the trust being is a key element. You mentioned the progress. You mentioned that the contribution to the purpose for the people, it's important, and you are building a community. So your HR kind of like strategy has to follow all of these demands from the business side.
Absolutely. So we are really people business. And of course we have customers, very demanding customers. So we have to say that our engines are really top quality. And of course, our customers are very, let's say, selective on the solutions as well. And can you imagine? So we do not have any two identical projects, let's say, what is planned and customized here in Hungary. I mean the engines, but also our engineers and also our data digital guys have to be in the position in that type of self and knowledge confidence to say even no to the customer demand. We go even through the wall. So we're really finding, let's say, out of the box solutions, but there are a point when we have to say no as well. And you can say no in a very confident way if you have the right capability, if you have the right guys who has the critical thinking, who has the willingness to examine and go into the depth of that discipline. This is one point. And the other point, of course, if we are talking about collaboration, so those teams are also, let's say, bringing solution for other teams. For instance, order management had a very strong cooperation with data digital team for the solutions. With the developers. So I think this is also a cross-fertilizing opportunity.
And the direct kind of like the pulse check of if the culture is working, because then they can do business together or like work on the things together. Yeah.
This is the point. And what I also would like to mention that the Budapest Development and Operations Center is the only one business solution for INNIO. So there is no other GPS.
Okay, so there is no AGM part or anywhere.
No other, only Budapest. And we are really very proud of that bringing those quality, which is really equivalent to those expectations. Yeah. Customers, I mean internal and external customers' expectations.
You are the competition for yourself.
Absolutely.
And you have to be world class.
And you have to be world class. Yeah, this one I understand. And you put emphasis on innovation, technological progress, digital engineering capabilities. How these are constantly reshaping the dynamism in the center? Meaning like some synergies and cooperations, maybe examples you could share with us.
So what I mentioned, this type of cooperation between the disciplines, let's say, between the functions, also working on other, let's say, solutions. So for instance, for me, as an HR person, was very heartwarming when even the digital team came up and I said, hey, we can help you in this and this and this topic to solve and bring the solution with us. This type of proactivity we are really looking for.
And you are basically, the capabilities are all here in Budapest, and they can also physically, like kind of because of the physical interaction, things grow.
Absolutely, and office presence could happen on multiple ways, and I'm really happy that how it happens here at INNIO, because we have a dedicated space in the office for certain teams. So there could be other companies where people are in the office, but not necessarily in the same place, not in the same floor, and they are basically separated at the end of the day. However, on paper, they are in the office.
They are in the office.
In our case,
supposed to meet, but not.
Yeah, they don't actually. But in our case, I'm really happy to see that each and every team has its own area on the floor. And when we are together in the office, we are really together, sitting next to each other, and we know where the other team sits, we want to collaborate with, and we can really meet and talk, coffee talks as well.
And what is your vision ahead to attract and also retain your colleagues when moving on this journey toward more complex and less transactional roles?
We are continuing the growing. So the key levers staying engineering and also the data digital function. On top of that, of course, we are focusing with web and graphic designer teams as well. And actually, so these key levers will bring also an influence on the current finance or HR IT operation as well. Actually, yes, I mentioned we are growing, but we would like to stay this type of, let's say, boutique style center, so not growing,
not the mass
recruitment, no. So absolutely focusing on a selective. Actually, as our site lead used to say, Gergely Szappanos, that we are looking for bright minds with a very great value-driven attitude. So this is our, let's say, USP. We are looking for those guys. They can really align to our purpose. They have that value. They would like to really to be part of a growing community, which has really this type of very fertilizing cross-culture collaborative environment.
And the actual value creation, they are who are looking for the value creation, because that's sometimes maybe the harder way to go. Based on my past 15 years of experience in the business service sector and also through our clients, but I see that the transactional tasks or when there is no challenge, it may be observed by the colleagues like repetitive and maybe the progress is not so much there. But when such an entrepreneurial mindset is present, then there are several changes, but that brings also opportunities.
Yes, and what I would like to also mention, so I mentioned so many times the financial function. So if you go to a bigger business center, you see that, for instance, the finance guy has only a little box to oversee. And what is behind, what is before, what is after, so it's already blurred because of the chain is too long. So our colleagues have not just this little box. They have really a broader and a wider overview of what is happening in their function and also beyond their functions. So this is what I really like, because this creates the meaningful work, this will create the real ownership, this will create that feeling by the end of the day, yes, I did something valuable. I was not just a little tiny sand, but I was really something important in this value creation chain.
And what you said in the beginning, that the end-to-end perspective is like seeing it that way or moving that direction, that's probably very important.
That's a great enabler, yes. And the attitude, what Helga, you have just said, it's very important. So it's very common to say that world is changing fast and dynamically, but actually,
dynamically growing. But here
it is. World is changing, and we have to respond to the changes. We have to absorb this change and somehow turn it to our benefit. And this change agility is very important part of our attitude we are looking for. And if we could consider change as an opportunity, if we are ready and willing to challenge our status quo, our way of working. Can we do something better? Can we do something differently? If we have this, then we are ready to look for improvement opportunities. And this mindset is what Helga just said. This is enabling us to step up to the next level.
And that is connected to the moving energy forward, meaning like you are in an industry, in a business where it's shaping the future of the energy solutions, and you're sitting in the first row or rather in the driving seat of it. So you can't be too late to be ahead of the trends and the changes.
Actually, yes, we are in the driving seat and we have to look forward
Yeah.
a couple of
Moving
hundreds
forward,
of meters
yeah.
away
Yeah.
and actually think ahead compared to our customers and actually coming up with solutions that maybe they didn't even think about. And that's the mastery of
That's the mastery. Great. Before we are closing up today's episode, I would have some espresso shots also to ask and to get quick answers to. Do you see the future of your center? Because at the moment it's development and operations center. Do you see the future as like service based or moving a little bit toward the innovation? Neither is good or bad. I'm curious how you see it.
I would say a healthy mixture.
Okay.
Yeah, they coexist. Innovation is definitely needed in order to renew and master the change. But in the same time, service have to coexist.
Yeah. And who is your biggest inspiration at the company?
Gergely Szappanos. Absolutely, and why? So, leadership and the mentality is like a ripple. It really goes through the organization and it really starts from top. And Gergely brings that type of mindset, leadership attitude, which creates a very safe environment. And I think this is the most important for all of us.
My inspiration, I guess, are my colleagues at INNIO, and I tell you why. Because each and everybody is teaching me something that I didn't know before, and I truly love those skip-level dialogues or corridor talks or business meetings where people contribute and put some parts of the jigsaw to the table. None of us have all the parts of that, and this is the beauty of it. So I'm really happy and I'm delighted to work with people from whom I can learn something every single day, literally.
We are really very proud of our colleagues.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
It was my first impression when I joined INNIO that the HR team is really very solid and stable regarding the knowledge. And actually, so I'm really proud of them. Mm-hmm. And you can be also, because you have also a very strong team.
Yeah, very stable. Yeah. Moving energy forward with one example, maybe from the past 2 weeks.
We met a customer in our headquarters from different countries. They visited us in Budapest, and many of my colleagues were sitting around the table. And after one long meeting in the morning, we left the table solving many issues that we were struggling recently for a longer period, just because meeting face to face, same place, same time, everybody was around the table with a pure sense and intent to find a solution. Yeah. And that is a typical example how to move.
Yeah. Forward.
I will bring an example from the recent months rather, and looping back to the team spirit. There were some changes in the team, and how the team members, I mean the HR team members, really helped, supported each others, were open for any challenges. I've never heard a word of no or no way. I think this type of cooperation, being in other shoes, this makes the community.
Mm-hmm. What is the biggest shift in the mindset that every business service leader has to kind of like have in order to become from transactional, what we talked about, that's the nature, and move toward a strategic position?
For me, it's definitely a shift towards people. People will make the change, and if we have skilled and engaged people who we can motivate and let grow, then we can step up to the next level. So from leadership perspective, for me as a leader, it is very important to keep people always first. And if people are okay, if people are engaged, then they can create process, they can change systems, they can change customer sentiment, literally everything.
People first again.
Mm-hmm. One thing that made and makes your INNIO journey, like INNIO as like Budapest journey, successful?
Start with people.
Uh-huh.
For me, collaboration. This is what Helga just mentioned, that immediately from the first day of joining, I felt this pure sense of an intent to collaborate and solve issues together. And if it comes so naturally and it is not pushed or forced, it is really powerful.
Mm-hmm.
A collaboration, and yeah, so again, a focal point. So how we are getting connected to each other. Mm-hmm. So this is very important. Business solution centers are really people businesses. Mm-hmm. Absolutely. So because, and then therefore people will make the difference. Mm-hmm. The mindset, I mean the harmony of mind and the heart. Mm-hmm. For me, this is the most important. Mm-hmm. And we are here as leaders, so this is the momentum. We have to grab it. Mm-hmm. We have to see, you mentioned purpose, we mentioned also the purpose. Every new joiner day, I have a coffee, mm-hmm. a morning coffee with the new joiners. And it is really heartwarming to hear that 8 out of 10 is mentioning that I joined to INNIO because the purpose of the company, the reliable energy, is really something for me, because this is sustainability. And then they jump immediately to the connection. So mm-hmm. during the interview phase, I had such a good experience. Mm-hmm. And the people here, the people make the shift.
Yeah, and having energy as the purpose and having the people being part of that energy and being behind that energy, I think that's kind of the beginning of a great and successful journey you are experiencing right now. And that will sum up our today's episode. And thank you so much sharing your very recent and very future-inspiring experiences in creating a next generation kind of business service center at INNIO. Now we will sum up with the takeaways, focusing on kind of like putting an advice, key takeaway in the imaginary backpack of our listeners. What is the single most important lesson you hope our listeners who tuned in this episode take away from what you've shared today?
For me, it is enabling people to do their best on the workplace. This is a growth for both the people and the company.
Create a culture and communities where people really belong to, and they feel valued and empowered. And if they feel that way, so everything is possible.
Yeah. Also to succeed for the individuals and also for the company. A big thanks to Helga Kaszás and also Zoltán Cseh for participating in today's episode.
Thank you very much, Anita.
Thank you. That was a pleasure to talk with you.
Thank you for the listeners also to joining us for today's episode. If you joined today's discussion as well, and if you are interested in more content in the Business Services Café, then don't forget to subscribe and keep notified about the topics we are bringing in. Stay tuned for more expert conversations and leader conversations also in the future, and see you next time.